Welcome to another episode of Diagourmand, the cooking show that sucks sometimes. My name is Spooky, your frivolous and flighty host. I'm sure you're beginning to notice that this is not a regular cooking show, and you are indeed correct. What is it? Even me, myself, I don't know. I just do whatever I like. However, yes, it's not a regular cooking show. It is a show that has comedy, capers, and conscious commentary served with an abundance of deliciousness. We are at the conscious commentary part, and I want to speak with you today about what I have been doing these days that has helped me a lot with being okay. And part of it is accountability, lots of it. Part of that accountability is knowledge, information. And one of the biggest things I have been truly getting into myself as far as knowledge is concerned is self-help on how to be an ubermensch, as Carl Jung calls it. I want to get to my higher self, my better self. And the only way you can do that is to have a roadmap. And part of the roadmap is just what our elders before us have been saying about how to level up in this thing called life. My favorite person that doesn't sugarcoat anything, that gives you how it is Earl Nightingale. I've watched a lot of things that he has to say, read a lot of things he has to say. And when I say watch, I'm talking about YouTube, all the channels that still have his videos from the 50s. It's true. There isn't one way to life. There is indeed a roadmap that will help you on your journey. It's a journey, everybody. You can either make it difficult or you can make it easy. We're living on this earth with a lot of other people, and they too have their own agendas. And regardless of what we want to say about I can be whatever I want to be, the truth of the matter is we do have a certain social infrastructure that have been in place for eons. You can either be a fish that swims with the current or against the current. With the current, you have an easier time of it. So why not take the sage words of the people that came before us and listen to what they have to say about how to navigate the current social infrastructure that we have? So one of the things I'm bringing you today from our sage, which is called The Strangest Secret. Now I'm bringing you the abridged form of it today because there are many things he says that I agree with, and there are many things he says that I don't agree with. But that is the whole thing about being a human being, isn't it? You're going to have things that resonate with you, and you're going to have things that do not resonate with you. Because this is also a cooking show, you're going to hear me use a lot of cooking terms. And the one I'm going to use today is eat the flesh, spit out the bones. I do that with a lot of things. So I will read something and I will totally agree, or I will somewhat agree, or I will totally disagree or somewhat disagree. That's what The Strangest Secret is for me. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the parts I agree with, and the parts I disagree with, I'm just going to leave it out completely. Now, let's begin The Strangest Secret. If you take 100 individuals who start even at the age of 25, do you have any idea what will happen to those men and women by the time they're 65? These 100 people believe they're going to be successful. They are eager towards life. There is a certain sparkle in their eye and erectness to their carriage. Life seems like a pretty interesting adventure to them. But by the time they're 65, only one of them will be rich, 4 will be financially independent, 5 will still be working, and 54 will be broke, depending on others for life's necessities. Only 5 out of the 100 make the grade. Why do so many fail? What happened to the sparkle that was there when they were 25? What has become of the dreams and hopes, the plans? And why is there such a large disparity between what these people intended to do and what they actually accomplished? First, we have to define success. And here is the best definition I have been able to find. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. A success is the school teacher who is teaching because that's what he or she wants to do. A success is the entrepreneur who starts his own company because that was his dream and that's what he wanted to do. A success is the salesperson who wants to become the best salesperson in his or her company and sets forth on the pursuit of that goal. A success is anyone who is realizing a worthy, predetermined ideal because that's what he or she decided to do deliberately. But only one of 20 does that. The rest are failures. Have you ever wondered why so many people work so hard and honestly without ever achieving anything in particular? And why others don't seem to work hard yet seem to get everything? They seem to have the magic touch. You've heard people say everything he touches turns to gold. Have you ever noticed that a person who becomes successful tends to continue to become more successful? The difference is goals. People with goals succeed because they know where they're going. It's that simple. Think of a ship with a complete voyage mapped out and planned. The captain and crew know exactly where the ship is going and how long it will take. It has a definite goal. And 9,999 times out of 10,000, it will get there. Now let's take a ship, just like the first, only let's not put a crew on it or a captain at the helm. Let's give it no aiming point, no goal, no destination. We just start the engines and let it go. I think you agree that if it gets out of the harbor at all, it will either sink or wind up on some deserted beach, a derelict. It can't go anyplace because it has no destination and no guidance. It's the same thing with a human being. Throughout history, the wise men and teachers, philosophers, and prophets have disagreed with one another on many different things. It is only on this point that they are in complete and unanimous agreement. The key to success and the key to failure is this: we become what we think about. This is the strangest secret. Now, why do I say strange? Why do I call it a secret? Actually, it isn't a secret at all. It was first promulgated by some of the earliest wise men, and it appears again and again throughout the Bible. But very few people have learned it or understand it. That's why it's strange. And why, for some equally strange reason, it virtually remains a secret. Marcus Aurelius, the great emperor, said, "A man's life is what his thoughts make of it." Disraeli said this: "Everything comes if a man will only wait. A human being with a settled purpose must accomplish it, and nothing can resist a will that will stake even existence for its fulfillment." William James said, "We need only in cold blood act as if the thing in question were real, and it will become infallibly real by growing into such a connection with our life that it will become real. It becomes so knit with habit and emotion that our interest in it will be those which characterize belief." It continues, "Only you must then really wish these things and wish them exclusively, and not wish at the same time 100 other incompatible things just as strongly." My old friend, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, put it in this way: if you think in negative terms, you will get negative results. If you think in positive terms, you will achieve positive results. It's pretty apparent, isn't it? We become what we think about. A person who is thinking about a concrete and worthwhile goal is going to reach it because that's what he's thinking about. Conversely, the person who has no goal, who doesn't know where he's going, and whose thoughts must therefore be thoughts of confusion, anxiety, fear, and worry, create a life of frustration, fear, anxiety, and worry. And if he thinks about nothing, he becomes nothing. Human mind is much like a farmer's land. The land gives the farmer a choice. He may plant in that land whatever he chooses. The land doesn't care what is planted. It's up to the farmer to make the decision. The mind, like the land, will return what you plant, but it doesn't care what you plant. If the farmer plants two seeds, one a seed of corn, the other a nightshade, a deadly poison, waters and takes care of the land, what will happen? Remember, the land doesn't care. It will return poison in just as wonderful abundance as it will corn. So up comes the two plants, one corn, one poison. As you sow, so shall ye reap. The human mind is far more fertile, far more incredible and mysterious than the land. But it works the same way. It doesn't care what we plant, success or failure, a concrete, worthwhile goal, or confusion, misunderstanding, fear, anxiety, and so on. What we plant, it must return to us. The problem is that our mind comes as standard equipment at birth. It's free, and things that are given to us for nothing we place little value on. Things that we pay for, we value. paradox is that exactly the reverse is true. Everything that's really worthwhile in life came to us free. Our minds, our soul, our bodies, our hopes, our dreams, our ambitions, our intelligence, and our love. But the things that cost us money are actually very cheap and can be replaced at any time. A good man can be completely wiped out and make another fortune. He can do this several times. Even if our home burns down, we can rebuild it. But the things we got for nothing, we can never replace. Our minds can do any kind of job we assign it. But generally speaking, we use it for little jobs instead of big ones. So decide now, what is it you want? Plant your goal in your mind. It is the most important decision you'll ever make in your entire life. Do you want to excel at your particular job? Do you want to go places in your company, in your community? Do you want to get rich? All you have got to do is plant that seed in your mind. Care for it. Work steadily towards your goal, and it will become a reality. It is not only will, there's no way it cannot. You see, that's a law. And it's the same with all other laws of nature. They always work. They're inflexible. Think about your goal in a relaxed, positive way. Picture yourself in your mind's eye, having already achieved this goal. See yourself doing the things you'll be doing when you've reached your goal. Every one of us is the sum total of our thoughts. Each of us must live off the fruit of our thoughts in the future. Because what you think today and tomorrow, next month and next year, will mold your life and determine your future. You are guided by your mind. I remember one time I was driving through Eastern Arizona and saw one of those giant earth-moving machines roaring along the road with what looked like 30 tons of dirt in it. A tremendous, incredible machine. And there was a little man perched way up on top of it with the wheel in his hands, guiding it. As I drove along, I was struck by the similarity of that machine to the human mind. Just suppose you're sitting at the controls of such a vast source of energy. Are you going to sit back and fold your arms and let it run itself into a ditch? Or are you going to keep both hands firmly planted on the wheel and control and direct this power to a specific worthwhile purpose? It's up to you. You're in the driver's seat. You see, the very law that gives us success is a double-edged sword. We must control our thinking. The same rule that can lead people to lives of success, wealth, happiness, and all the things they've ever dreamed of, that very same law can lead them into the gutter. It's all in how they use it, for good or for bad. That's it. That is the strangest secret. Do what the experts since the dawn of recorded history have told us to do. Pay the price by becoming the person you want to become. It's not nearly as difficult as living unsuccessfully. The moment you decide on the goal to work towards, you're immediately a successful person. You're in that rare group of people who know where they're going. Out of every 100 people, you belong to the top 5. Don't concern yourself too much with how you're going to achieve your goal. Leave that completely to the power greater than you. All you have to do is know where you're going. The answers will come to you on their own accord and at the right time. Start today. You have nothing to lose, but you have your whole life to win. The final point, he says, your success will always be measured by the quality and quantity of service you render. Most people will tell you that they want to make more money without understanding this law. The only people who make money work in a mint. The rest of us earn money. This is what causes those who keep looking for something for nothing or a free ride to fail in life. Success is not the result of making money. Earning money is the result of success. And success is in direct proportion to our service. Most people have this law backwards. It's like the man who stands in front of the stove and says to it, "Give me heat, and then I will add the wood." So, of course, this was back in the day. That's what they used. So in today's version, it will be, give me fire or give me heat, and then I will turn on the gas or I will turn on the electricity. How many men and women do you know or do you suppose there are today who take the same attitude towards life? There are millions. We've got to put fuel in it before we can expect heat. Likewise, we've got to be of service first before we can expect money. Don't concern yourself with the money. Be of service. Build, work, dream, create. Do this and you'll find there is no limit to the prosperity and abundance that will come to you. Above all, don't worry. Worry brings fear and fear is crippling. All you have to do is hold your goal before you everything else will take care of itself. Now, this is what I came to talk to you about today because it is incredibly important. Accountability will help you a lot in being okay. The first steps to accountability is to set a goal and follow through. The reason you're seeing a cooking video playing right along with what I'm saying is my lack of accountability when I first started Diet Gourmand. Let me take you back a little bit. Diet Gourmand, it's a seed that came to mind to me many years ago. And so when YouTube first came, I saw it immediately for what it was. This is a platform that I can use to express myself. First time I saw a cooking show, my eyes went prum, meaning that I knew this was it for me when I saw the cooking shows. I just did not know how to get to it. And I didn't have any advisors in my life to show me how to get to it. Then YouTube came along and I was immediately like, this is it. I bought the equipment, but I was not dedicated enough or had enough direction to be able to learn the equipment and use the equipment, and it went obsolete. More equipment. Same thing happened, obsolete. And now I had all the equipment and then I started recording. But lack of accountability, lack of direction, lack of dedication, lack of drive, and also battling mental illness. I did go on Instagram. I opened up a channel. I filmed a few cooking videos then, and then I stopped. If you go and look on Instagram, you will see when I stopped. Again, battling mental illness.